you can perform at a crazy high level, not prioritize your health, not prioritize stress control, not prioritize your sleep, but it will eventually catch up. And it will either affect you, your close relationships, your family unit, or your business. The best performers in the world understand energy management and they prioritize it. But we hear this on, social media or whatever all the time, this hustle culture of just push and grind. You know what happens to those people? They burn out. They actually, all of them burn out. There's very few that can maintain that level of intensity without having good stress control and good sleep and,
Yeah, I feel like I started learning a bit about this on my journey where, for instance, I started off early morning, hit the alarm, doesn't matter how much sleep you get, you can always power through it, just go hard, squeeze in some meals, still train hard.
Yeah.
And then I started seeing people talking about, you should be prioritizing your sleep if you want to look after creativity, and basically flipped my entire day structure where I try not to even have an alarm anymore, go to bed at a roughly set time, try and start winding down from there, learned about dimming lights, for instance, and then instead of waking up early, just letting myself wake up when I wake up and then getting into my routine. Not saying that happens all the time, but it's now 90% of my days rather than 90% where the earlier you're up, beat everyone up, fuck them all, get it done, you do more, stay up working later, and realised, I don't know if that's actually going to be that sustainable longer term.
Yeah, well, if you just think financially, to be financially successful is not about intensity. It's about consistency. So if you want to be consistent for the next 5, 10, 15 years, you cannot do it without investing in your physical and mental health, because that is the vehicle that's got to get you through all of the obstacles that you're going to face, right? So I think it's very short-sighted if we think that we're going to get out of this life what we want without doing the deep work on ourselves. Because even being financially successful, that doesn't, it kind of sounds cliche, but it doesn't bring you happiness. I remember working with a client. He said the happiest I ever was when I went from 140K to 180K.
Yeah.
And he said, once I got to $1 million, I just kept scaling. It was just, but he said, I never got happier. And if I think about my life, the happiest and most content that I have been is when I've had the least amount of things. When I was traveling around the world with my backpack, with fuck all in there, and traveling on a shoestring, and really putting myself out there in the world and challenging myself, that was just the most content and happy I've ever been. And so I'm trying to, in my life, it's just right, how do we simplify things?
I want to touch on something, because you say, hustle culture and that, and yeah, completely get it. But almost wonder, it's like the devil on the other side, where sometimes I'll have people talking about burnout, and I kind of think, fuck, you haven't even started lighting any of your fuel. What the fuck would you know about burnout? And it's like they've gone so hard the other way of don't want to work too hard, don't want to push myself, don't want to go through adversity. And I think the adversity that I've been through in my life has always given me the greatest lessons.
Yep.
And do we need to, again, balance those two things, but understand the reality of both sides of that?
Well, firstly, you have to, for those types of people, you have to change your mindset around stress. Because if you have a stress as debilitating mindset, whenever you go through an obstacle or something that's a hardship, you're going to pull back. You're going to avoid it. You're going to find ways out. And so a stress is enhancing mindset. I'll give you a practical example. About 8 months ago, I went through a period in the business that was just, there was stuff coming at me from all different angles, and it was over. The way that I describe it is just overwhelming. But when I was going through that, I got into a negative mindset, but I recognize it, and it's right, in this situation I'm going through, what is a stress is enhancing mindset? And a stress is enhancing mindset is right, where can I find opportunities and growth here? What is this, what's actually happening? Take a step back, be able to view it from the outside looking in. Because when you're in the middle, when you're in the thick of it, it can seem overwhelming because you are in the red, a reactive state where you're going to have more negative thoughts, more self-doubt, and that feeds into your perception, your actions, and your outcomes. So I don't know where I'm going with this, but sometimes you got to just pull yourself back, because when you are in it, you're tying a lot of emotion to it because you care so much about the result.